So the Dangerous Course for Kids came about, the idea really, from a feeling of mine, and I'm sure lots of other people share the feeling that kids these days don't really spend enough time outside, experiencing the outdoors, or just playing in an outdoor environment. There's too much competition these days. There's too many comfortable, interesting media within the home, and so the Dangerous Course for Kids is hopefully going some way to counteract this kind of this modern blight of ours, which is that children no longer seem to spend the amount of time outdoors that certainly I did, very luckily, when I was a child. Here at Sedbergh School, where the courses are based, we're blessed with a unique and fairly unspoiled natural environment. We're looking at skills that I think perhaps kids used to possess more naturally, and now in our risk-averse society people are less likely to be climbing trees on a regular basis. Our tree climbing activity, for example, involves huge tall trees, but when you get to the top of them you clearly get a very different perspective on life, and these would be climbed safely with the benefit of harnesses and ropes, climbing equipment, and obviously fully qualified, experienced instructors. But the idea, the feeling of climbing trees and getting your knees a bit dirty and scribbling about is still there, and very much a good memory from my childhood. So the activities are one part of it. The other part is the kind of the learning of handy skills for the outdoor life. We start with the basic ones, such as lighting a decent fire with very little, and maybe on a damp day, and ways of lighting good fire. Catching fish, gutting them, preparing them, and then cooking them, enjoying them, and eating food that perhaps you've caught yourself. Similarly, on that vein, we'll be looking at really lost skills of just identifying very basic plants, and maybe edible plants, the wild garlic, the wood sorrel, things which are safe but fun to know about. And looking at tracking animals and identifying different wildlife tracks, and moving stealthily and undiscovered through a woodland environment or across a hillside in order to see more of the natural world without crashing through and disturbing everything. And we do that obviously in a game form. That would be disguise, stealth, and camouflage, and a lot of crawling on your belly in the mud, hopefully. So those skills, and we have the opportunity. We've got very experienced, qualified folk working with us who'll be able to tell us about how to tell the weather from what the clouds are doing, how to identify some of the star systems that go a little bit further than perhaps just the plough. All of those in a 5-day course will mean that we'll spend most of the time, the majority of the time, we'll be outside, and that will include our eating and sleeping habits. Most of our meals will be cooked either on a fire or barbecue style, and we'll be sitting outside eating rather than inside around a table. We'll be around a fire sitting on logs. And as far as our sleeping is concerned, although when we first get here we'll be in one of the very comfortable traditional big old boarding houses of Sedbergh School, after that we're going to head out, and people will either be sleeping under the stars with maybe a basic structure shelter constructed by themselves, or we'll spend nights in our huge, very sociable 12-person teepees with a roaring fire at the door, and tall tales, stories and adventures being passed around until the early hours. The Dangerous Course for Kids runs in July and is suitable for any fun-loving boy or girl between the ages of 9 and 13.